A plane crashes, leaving no survivors. Good evening, I'm Natalie Tejeda. Thank you for joining us this Saturday. That plane first went missing from the skies just after 10 last night near Trussville. The FAA says the plane departed from Jackson Evers International Airport in Jackson, Mississippi last night. It was bound for Birmingham. The plane was not cleared to land and was instead told to circle and reapproach. But then at 10:20, it disappeared from radar. Our Tiffany Westry begins our team coverage tonight. She joins us from Trussville via the CBS 42 mobile live unit. Tiffany.
Natalie, the FAA is here, and the National Transportation and Safety Board will soon be here as well to try and figure out what caused the small plane to go down. The search began around 10:30 Friday night and wrapped up around 3 o'clock this afternoon with a tragic discovery.
There were no survivors of the crash.
Chase Evans is one of the many people who volunteered to help deputies and rescue crews navigate the wooded area of Goodner Mountain Road, where a helicopter pilot spotted the crash site.
This is the backside of a bunch of family property and close friends. Everybody owns a lot of property around here, and it crashed pretty much in the middle, in between, like Echo Lake, Lake in the Woods, back in that area, and there's no roads.
The only way to get there is on foot.
We don't have any idea what caused the crash. It did hit a pine tree on the way down and clipped it, and the fuselage is pretty much buried. The front of the fuselage is pretty much buried in the side of the mountain. So.
And according to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, the pilot did send a radio message out stating that the plane was going down, but wasn't specific as to why. The passenger on board is believed to be his wife. For now, in Jefferson County, Tiffany Westry, CBS 42 News.
Well, the interesting thing about this was that there was a thunderstorm in the area. We had some heavy rain earlier in that situation, so the question is, did weather play a factor in this? But what we can show you is the observation from the Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport. Let's go ahead and fly into that, and we can show you what a little bit about those weather conditions were. So the skies, they were overcast. The winds, though, look at this, pretty interesting. Northwest between 30 and 40 miles per hour on wind gusts. That's pretty substantial for an aircraft, especially on the landing pursuit. Visibility was not big of an issue. There was some light rain being reported at 10 o'clock. That was coming to an end in the vicinity of Trussville, so that is an interesting factor there. But other than that, it looks like most of the heavy weather was done except those winds, and those winds could have played a factor in the airport or any sort of landing situation from an aircraft landing at the Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport. But that's what we have for airport observations as of now. So, Natalie, I'll send it over to you.
So much, Ted. We're going to continue our team coverage with meteorologist Mark Prater via Skype. Mark, you're a certified pilot in single-engine planes like the one that was used in this crash. And Mark, you heard a description of those conditions last night. Could those conditions have played a role?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that's something that there's so many different things that can cause problems, especially on a flight like this. And the smaller aircraft, whenever you have a small single-engine plane, usually you have a great opportunity to recover that aircraft. If you lose some type of altitude or if you make any adjustments, it's usually something that you can quickly adjust to. Now, with the winds at 30 to 40 miles per hour, while there could be a number of different variables of why this plane went down, the one that stands out to me is the wind speed at 30 to 40 miles per hour. And these planes, while they're decent sized, you can see there is a number of them at the airport. These are smaller planes. They're designed to carry just a couple of people, but they have a rating on them that you can only take off and land with certain wind speeds on a crosswind. With winds at 30 to 40 miles per hour, that's likely way above what we would normally see as acceptable or safe for an aircraft this size to make a turn. Now, did that stall the wings because they hit a 30 or 40 mile per hour gust? It's very possible that that had an impact as far as the winds, but overall, the biggest threat that you see is, one, you had gusty winds, two, overcast conditions, and somebody who may not have been familiar with the terrain. And a lot of these ridges in that area, you don't have a lot of time to recover when you're doing basically a go-around is what it's called. If you are making a circle and you're coming back to the airport, you don't get real high. And if you don't see the terrain there, it obviously can make it very dangerous. And for someone who's not familiar with this area, that could have been a big role.
All right, thanks so much, Mark, and I'm sure a lot more will come out in the coming weeks as the FAA continues their investigation. Now we want to take a closer look, though, at that type of plane that was involved in that crash. The Cessna 210 went out of production in the mid-1980s. Our Melissa Kim, she's joining us now in the studio with more. Melissa.
Well, good evening, Natalie. Earlier today, I talked to Justin Lawler. He's the chief flight instructor at Birmingham Flight Center. While he hasn't been the pilot of a Cessna 210 himself, he has flown several other Cessna planes that are nearly identical or very similar and had some insight on flying those types of planes. Birmingham Flight Center chief flight instructor Justin Lawler has a decade of experience in flying planes. He says Cessnas are pretty popular.
They're still widely used today, even though it's a 30-year-old airplane. Most everything on them are replaced through the years.
They can seat up to 6 people, but are used to transport cargo because they're cost efficient and easy to fly.
It's relatively simple. It's pretty smooth. It's not really much different than flying a large airliner. I mean, obviously the airplane is much smaller and it doesn't go quite as fast, but the controls are pretty much the same.
Lawler says the prerequisites to fly a Cessna are pretty standard.
All you would need is you would need a private pilot's license. You would need a high-performance endorsement from a certified flight instructor, and you would need a complex endorsement from a flight instructor.
But the time frame of getting those requirements can vary.
I've seen people acquire a private pilot's license in as little as 2 months' time, but now I've seen people take longer than that. Everybody has their own pace.
And Lawler also says that lots of flight schools use Cessna planes because of their benefits financially, but in the Birmingham area, they're typically used for cargo only, delivering mail, packages, and those types of errands. Natalie, back to you.
And thank you, Melissa. Obviously, this investigation is going to be ongoing for quite some time, but you'll find continuous coverage of this story on our website at cbs42.com. And speaking of plane crashes, we expect to learn more this next week about the UPS cargo plane crash that killed 2 pilots this past August. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, has scheduled a hearing for this Thursday. The hearing will focus on non-precision approaches to the airport, human factors such as decision-making and fatigue, as well as dispatch procedures. The cause of the crash, though, will not be determined at the hearing. An update now on a story we first told you about last night. Birmingham police have made an arrest in the robbery of a Wells Fargo bank. Patrick Jones was taken into custody on Courtside Drive around 3 this morning. Investigators believe he's involved in at least 2 other bank robberies, one in Hoover and one in Homewood. These surveillance photos that were released yesterday show a man matching Jones's description entering the bank on 6th Avenue South and then showing something inside his coat to a teller and demanding money. Well, still ahead, if you skipped the Valentine's Day dinner because of a long wait at a restaurant, well, there's an app for that. You'll never again have to wait for a table. But first, it's one thing most of us don't love. And if you nibble on all those chocolates, you'll have to put in a little extra work to keep those love handles away. And another pitching duel in Regions Field for UAB. Could they be coming out on top again? Highlights next in sports.
And we got one more cold night, and I promise you this. Bama's Bomby Blast is on the way. I'll tell you all about that coming up next.
And welcome back. Love can be sweet and welcoming when it's in the form of chocolate, flowers, or even a card, but there's a different form that sometimes shows up uninvited. We're talking about love handles. Some of us call them muffin tops, and it's that pesky fat around our lower backs and the midsection that can be difficult to lose.
For many people, breaking up with their love handles is hard to do.
Men tend to have a fat distribution that starts at the belly and kind of lowers and wraps around to the back. Women start at the back and descend over the buttocks and thighs.
Exercise physiologist Avril James Hurt says that most people think there are moves they can do to target the areas.
A lot of twisting motions. That side thing where you get on the side and you rock back and forth.
The kettlebells where you dip up.
But she says not so fast.
All of the core exercises are really important to postural health. However, those love handles and the abdominal fat are on top of those muscles. And abdominal fat is more inclined to be the fat that is affecting your heart health.
All cardio exercises can help end the relationship, but to really combat the fat, she suggests high-intensity interval training.
It is the alternating of a very high intensity, either speed or resistance, short burst of exercise with another short rest period.
And of course, following a healthy diet.
And rather than fight the hustle and bustle of Valentine's Day crowds, many couples opted to wait. But now a new app may be all you need to ensure you always get a table without delay. The new No Wait app will bring up a list of local restaurants. Choose one and you'll find out just how long it'll take to get seated. You can join the line and you'll get a text when your turn is coming up. The CEO of No Wait says despite all the hype of Valentine's Day, 90% of diners make their plans last minute. The app is free and available for both Android and iPhones.
And now, CBS 42 weather.
And I got No Wait weather for you. We're looking live right now outside on the campus of the city of Tuscaloosa, the campus of the University of Alabama, looking out on the city of Tuscaloosa. You can see the sun going down on the western horizon. And overall, a decent day. It cooled down after the rain yesterday, but overall this is much better than we had last week. So I said it before the break. I said get ready for Bama's balmy blast, but we have one more cold night to deal with first. And thunderstorms are back in the forecast. We had it on last night a little bit during the evening, but we'll have some more storms and rain for our week ahead forecast. Temperatures outside on the chilly side, 45 Birmingham, 37 Hamilton. How about Coleman at 41 degrees and Gadsden still not reporting in. 44 in Anniston, Shelby County and Alabaster, 43, 50 at the Big Peach, 46 there in T-Town. Now around the region you can see the cool air off to the north, the whitish colors here in the Appalachians. So you can see that freezing line. There it is right there. But now we're going to cool down, not quite below freezing here, but very close to it. Titan 3D radar showing dry conditions here, but let's look off to the north and east where they had our snowstorm roll up the coast on Thursday and drop over a foot of snow in many places. Now they're getting round number 2. See the snow moving through New England. This yellow, that's thunderstorms, so very heavy snow in Long Island and Connecticut. But let's go over to the Midwest. You see this piece of energy dropping snow in Illinois as well as Wisconsin. Well, on the tail end of it, it will have some moisture that we'll be dealing with to the north. So if you're traveling up to Nashville, you might run into some rain showers. Now, our exclusive Titan cast shows a little bit of cloud cover that tries to move in overnight. But by 9 a.m. tomorrow, heading into church, you know what? You're going to be able to wear maybe short sleeves. We're warming up. A nice west wind. We're going to see some sunshine all during the day tomorrow. Excellent conditions. And then we head into Monday, Washington's birthday, and most of us, hopefully a lot of us, will have the day off and be able to enjoy some nice warm weather again. We'll start off with warm weather, but clouds will increase during the afternoon. Slight chance for an afternoon shower, but a better chance at 10 o'clock at night. And then by Tuesday, we'll see some clouds with a passing shower, not out of the question. Our forecasted temperatures, 38 degrees tomorrow morning, but it's not going to be chilly that long. We'll warm up to 58 by noon. In between noon and 5 o'clock into the low 60s, but by 5, 56 degrees. So my forecast for tonight, 33 degrees, last cold night before the week, not for the year, but we're looking pretty good. Tomorrow we'll be warmer than 45 degrees. We'll get up to 62. That's a look at our extended forecast. That was today. How about tomorrow? We're looking at 60 and then 65 for Washington's birthday. Flip that coin there with good old George on there. And then as we head into Tuesday, there's a chance for a passing shower, but overall I think the best chance for rain really comes up as we get into Thursday night and Friday, where temperatures, look at that, 70s, low 70s.
We are seeing the 70s back on the map. That makes me so happy.
No more Bama's bitter blast,
Yes.
Bama's bomby blast. I'm pushing that. Everybody loves
I'm going for the Bama's bomby blast.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks so much, Ted. You know, it was a beautiful weekend to lace up those shoes and go for a run. And you know, what a better way to celebrate our beautiful weather today and help kick off the Mercedes Marathon then with a 5K run featuring superheroes, thousands donned capes, cowl, and other costume for the event. The route took runners from the Boutwell to Lynn Park and back. And hey, you know, if you do that 8.5 more times, you'll have run a marathon.
Oh.
Well, there you go. That's all you need to do. 8.5 5Ks. There you go.
Just keep running them back and forth over and over again.
Exactly. That's a lot.
We're talking superheroes coming out of the Mercedes one. Your favorite superhero?
My is Black Widow from the Avengers. You know, Shannon, Scarlett Johansson's character. She's cool.
I just learned of my favorite is Weatherman, Ted McInerney.
That would be
with
Weatherman.
the Bama's balmy blast.
Exactly.
We'll get back to Ted in a bit, but we're talking hoops today. Auburn and Mississippi State, the role of Kal-El from Krypton, better known as Superman, played by Auburn's Chris Denson today. Here he is on the break with the and one. Auburn shot 41 free throws today, made 37 of them, and Denson shot the ball 17 times. He made 10 of those. He was explosive with the finish there, with the flow. The Auburn Tigers winners at home over Mississippi State today. Watch Denson to the rim here. Finishes strong with the left hand. Final score 92-82. We're from Coach Barbie tonight at 10. High school classmates Frank Martin and Anthony Grant meet up before tied Gamecocks today. South Carolina had a big lead, but here come the Crimson Tide in the second half. Trevor Relaford for three cuts into the lead. Later on, down three are the Tide. Deep Trevor ties the game, but inside a minute, Herrera for South Carolina gets that bucket to go off of the tip. So the Tide trailing by two. Relaford gets a great look at a game winner, but it's stuck in the rim. Alabama falls 67-66. Next up for the Tide at home on the 22nd against Mizzou. Alabama baseball playing in front of a nice crowd today at Sewell Thomas. Not a lot of Tide runs till the third inning. Daniel Cuckton homers down the left field line. They would score twice in the inning, but still trail. Later on in the fifth inning, it's Wade Wass doubling to left field. Ben Moore comes in to score. It's Wade eventually winning the game with a walk-off single. Alabama wins it 4-3. Had more baseball in the Magic City today. After the start yesterday, the Sanford Bulldogs looking to get into the win column. UAB trying to stay there. We start at Regions Field, where the season started this week. Really nice crowd for the Blazers. Johnny Leeske with the start for UAB, and after a one-run first inning, throws 6 scoreless, striking out 6. The Blazers struck out UT Martin a lot yesterday. They get them 10 times. They wind up winning on a Chase Davis walk-off single. UAB winners, they're 2-0, 6-5. Sanford hoping to tie up the series against Valpo. Valpo up 1-0 at Joe Lee Griffin today, and they'd add to that is Karch Kowalski with a 2-run double to center. They go up 3-0 after that, but the Bulldogs answer back in the third. Caleb Bryson with the gapper. That gets into the gap there in the right center field, brings in the run. Sanford would lose the lead late, though. They fall 11-8. And here's a look at the finals from the state wrestling tournament. In 6A, the Thompson Warriors win their 4th consecutive state championship. Vestavia Hills, the runners-up. It's a fantastic run by Thompson. 4 state championships. They'll see if they can make it 5 in a row coming up next year.
Awesome, and you know, good job on those. Both of our teams got those single run.
Yeah, a couple of walk-off wins today, and we'll see more from the wrestling championships and a game, not a game winner, a car-winning putt coming up tonight on CBS 42 News.
I always love seeing those hole-in-one putts. Perfect. All right, thanks so much. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Bo Jackson, he's at it again. The former Auburn, NFL, and Major League Baseball star is getting ready to hit the road for his annual charity bike ride. Bo Bike Bama begins on A-Day. That's on April 19th. This year, Bo will be raising money for the governor's emergency relief fund. In his previous rides, he raised more than $700,000 to help rebuild homes and build community storm shelters. That was following the April 27th, 2011 tornado outbreak. Well, the American Village is also expanding once more, and this time the new addition will honor veterans. A dedication ceremony for the National Veterans Shrine is set for this Monday. The event includes the opening of 2 art galleries and 3 multimedia galleries. The stories of individual veterans will be told in short movies. The program begins at 1 and is free to everyone. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Another cold night, but we're going to have an awesome day tomorrow with temperatures in the low 60s. 50 or 65 degrees, even warmer on Monday for Washington's birthday. We'll have a chance for a shower Monday night, but a better chance for thunderstorms by Friday into the early morning hours of Saturday. I want to ask you guys, Washington's birthday is coming up. You know, it's observed Monday, but it's really the 22nd. I got he's on the coin, the quarter here. What's your favorite George Washington story growing up?
I just remember he always had the powdered wig and he was on the front of the boat, wasn't he?
Yeah, the crossing the Potomac, right? Because that took a lot of guts to do that. And whoever painted that picture, standing there watching George Washington and the folks paint.
I know, he had to stand in the water painting the picture.
Yeah, right? That guy had a lot of courage too.
I'm joking.
Absolutely, we're totally kidding.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
And the wooden teeth. Come on.
That's all the time we have here at 6 o'clock. Be sure to join us for CBS 42 News at 10. We'll see you then.